Welcome to the channel. Did you know?
What would happen if everyone on the ground stood as close to each other as they could and jumped, and everyone landed on the ground at the same instant? This crowd occupies an area the size of Rhode Island. But there is no need to use the vague sentence "an area equal to the size of Rhode Island." This scenario is ours. We can be more specific. They are actually in Rhode Island. At exactly 12 o'clock in the afternoon, everyone jumps. As discussed elsewhere, this does not actually affect the planet. The weight of the Earth is more than our weight by a factor of more than 10 trillion. On average, we humans can jump about half a meter on a good day. Even if the ground was solid and responded instantly, it would have been pushed down by less than an atom's width. After that, everyone descends back to the ground. Technically, this conducts a lot of energy into the ground, but it's spread over an area large enough that it doesn't leave more than footprints in a lot of gardens, and a pulse of pressure spreads across the North American continental crust and dissipates without leaving a trace at the sound of all those feet hitting the ground. It generates a roar that lasts for several seconds and eventually, the air becomes still. Seconds pass and everyone looks around. A cell phone slips out of someone's pocket, and within seconds, 5 billion phones in the world follow suit. All of them, even those compatible with the zone horoscopes, display some kind of no sign. All cellular networks have collapsed under unprecedented load pressure. Outside of Rhode Island, abandoned machines began to slow and then stop. The T.F. Green Airport in Warwick, Rhode Island, handles a few thousand passengers per day. Assuming they organized everything, including expeditions to recover fuel, they could operate at 500% capacity for years without undermining the crowd. Adding all of the nearby airports doesn't change the equation much, nor does the area's light rail system. Crowds board container ships at Providence's deepwater port, but stocking enough food and water for a long cruise turns out to be a challenge. 500,000 cars are seized from Rhode Island. Moments later, Interstate 95-1, 195-1, and 295 became the sites of the largest traffic jams in the planet's history. Most of the cars are surrounded by the crowd, but the lucky few got out and started wandering the deserted road network. Some managed to reach beyond New York or Boston before they ran out of fuel. Since there is no electricity available at this point, instead of finding a gas station, it is easier to just leave the car and steal another one. Who can stop you? The police are in Rhode Island. All but now we know the edge of the crowd is spreading towards southern Massachusetts and Connecticut. It is unlikely that any two people who meet will have a common language, and almost no one knows the area. It becomes a state made up of chaotic patches of collapsing and crumbling social hierarchies. Violence is rife, everyone is hungry and thirsty. Groceries are emptied, clean water is hard to come by, and there is no effective system for distributing it. Within weeks, Rhode Island would become a graveyard for billions of people. The survivors are scattered all over the world and are struggling to build a new civilization on the clean ruins of the old one. Our human race is dazed, but the population has shrunk considerably. And the Earth's orbit is completely unaffected. It rotates just as it did before our species leap.